One of the wonderful things about Shoshone is that the town itself is integrated with nature. So you can just step outside your motel room or outside your RV and see the bowl of stars above your head. Within a few minutes, you can be on walking trails and see the endangered Amargosa pupfish species, variety of butterflies, dragonflies, plants that are endemic to the Amargosa, and really reconnect with nature. In the early 1900s, Death Valley, Shoshone, and Dacopa was a mecca for gold miners and prospectors. Shoshone was a part of that boom, and it really got on the map when Borax Smith built the Tonopah and Tidewater Railroad, which hauled borax ore to the markets from the rich hills in Death Valley. Those miners and prospectors seeking their fame and fortune also were the men who built Dublin Gulch, about a quarter of a mile from Shoshone. The dwellings in Dublin Gulch are built into a very picturesque caliche ledge that's mixed with volcanic ash from volcanoes that exploded from about 2 million years ago to about 650,000 years ago.
200 people lived out here, so they put in a bank and they put in a post office. Well, in order to have a post office, you got to have a name. So nobody could figure out what to name this place. Well, this Australian guy, he was a miner from Ballarat, Australia. And he told the people, you know what the word Ballarat means? Nobody knew. He said it's an Aboriginal word. It means the gathering place, the meeting place. And that's exactly what this place was. So this is way out in the middle of nowhere, especially in the horse and buggy days. In 1897, it was built for a supply place. Because there's a lot of gold found out here, there's a lot of prospecting, a lot of mining activity and stuff like that. And it lasted up until about 1917.
People, when they come down the road, are generally shocked and delighted the first time they come here because it is a big splash of greenery that kind of hits you in the face amidst this very, very desolate sort of moonscape-looking terrain. We've got about 1,500 date palm trees planted. They come from the Arab world and North African areas around the Mediterranean basin. So they're adapted to this very hot, very dry climate, and they can take poor soil conditions and saline water conditions. So they're a good choice for a crop to grow in the desert areas. Date palms have evolved to be wind-pollinated organisms, so insects don't really help. And everywhere in the world where they grow dates commercially, they do some version of delivering male pollen right to the female flower, so you get big, heavy bundles of fruit, and it kicks the yield way up. So it makes it financially viable to grow dates. Most dates are eaten right out of the box. And we pit and grind a certain amount of our crop into a date paste, which is a product that's the basis for our date milkshakes. And our bread, cookies, and muffins. China Ranch is also a very important ecological niche. It's part of the area of the greater Amargosa River Canyon area, and so it's a year-round water source, so we have the full array of wildlife that you would expect to see in the Mojave Desert. So people can come, and we have a series of hiking and walking trails. They can do as little or as much as they like.
This monastery is St. Anthony Monastery. The original one is St. Anthony in Egypt. This extension of it here. That's why we choose this place, because it looks like same place of mountain, the same desert like Egypt. It's sometimes very hot, sometimes very cold in the night. We have a small chapel in the mountain, and this small chapel is hard to reach it by the car, and some rocks in it too. We do service only for the monastic life, but if there are some people coming to share, like a visitor for one day, they share with us the liturgy. This makes some difficulties too for the monks, because the monastery life is supposed to be without people.
I began my art in my yard through my life experience from my car accident that happened in 1974, July the 5th. I lost my father, 2 sisters, and my brother from a head-on collision coming back from the Colorado River. And me and my mom survived. Everything that I have is made out of palm trees that I've dug up from the area. This here is spiritual life in flight. It can withstand 70-mile-an-hour winds. This is my paraplegic water skier. I was inspired by a friend of mine that I know that is a paraplegic, someone that I feel never gave up on life. These hands represent the Lord coming to take a mother to see their children in a boat. They're going to sail back up to heaven where they can reunite. I spend a lot of time here just to reflect back on the positive things in life.
We like to say Nipton is conveniently located in the middle of nowhere. And the reason we say that is because we're only 10 miles off of Interstate 15, which is a major highway between LA and Salt Lake City. But when you're sitting in Nipton, you don't realize you're that close to a major freeway because you don't hear it. Nipton is 80 acres of beautiful desert, and it has a solar system. There's a general store. That building was built in the 40s, and there was a general store there before, but it burnt down. And then there's a cafe, and then the hotel, which was built in 1904. We also have eco cabins. They're designed after Frank Lloyd Wright's yurts in the Yosemite. The town has not changed much. When my husband and I bought it in 1985, it would have been easier to bulldoze it all down and put new buildings up, but we wanted to keep the character.